Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Folks, I want to give you the latest news about the country, about the economy, and about your money. Folks, as you know, today is day two of the impeachment trial of former President Trump. There he is. Hello, former President Trump. Folks, things are not going well for the former president, but it seems like a lot of Republican senators are actually not paying attention to what's even going on in the proceedings. This is a tweet on your screen from Matt Lewis, who's a senior columnist for the Daily Beast. And Matt reports that some senators were reading books with their feet up on their desks while the impeachment trial was happening. Now, there's no camera evidence of this as per an agreement that was struck regarding the recording of these proceedings. Here's another tweet on your screen from Garrett Huck, who's a correspondent for NBC News. And Garrett reports that he just left the chamber, meaning the Senate chamber where the proceedings are going on, and most members were at least partially engaged with the proceedings that are going on. The biggest exception was Josh Hawley from Missouri. Senator Hawley apparently was sitting up in the gallery with his feet up on the seat in front of him, reviewing paperwork throughout. So there's Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri. I'm glad that he's getting some work done in the United States Senate as far as Garrett is concerned. In the meantime, folks, some major news here. A prosecutor in Georgia has opened a criminal investigation into former President Trump for, I quote, his attempts to influence the administration of the 2020 Georgia general election. You'll see this headline on your screen from the New York Times, and the headline reads, Georgia prosecutors open criminal investigation of the Trump phone call. Folks, you probably heard the Trump phone call by now. A pretty interesting phone call. Let's put it mildly. You'll get a link to this New York Times article in the description section below. State officials are being instructed to preserve documents related to, I quote, attempts to influence the Georgia election, including a call in which former President Trump asked an elections official to, I quote, find votes. So, folks, Fani Willis, who's a recently elected Democratic prosecutor in Fulton County in Georgia, sent a letter. And here's a quote from the letter. This investigation includes, but is not limited to, potential violations of Georgia law prohibiting the solicitation of election fraud, the making of false statements to state and local government bodies, conspiracy, racketeering. This is some serious stuff, guys. Violation of oath of office, and any involvement in violence or threats related to the elections administration, as mentioned in the letter. And folks, this investigation is coming right after a decision in the past 48 hours by the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. His office decided to open up an administrative inquiry. You'll see this headline on your screen also from the New York Times that reads, Georgia officials review Trump phone call as scrutiny intensifies. The Office of Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger has initiated a fact-finding inquiry into President Trump's January phone call to Mr. Raffensperger, pressuring him to, I quote, find votes. And folks, while all this is happening, here's a tweet on your screen from Kyle Griffin. Kyle Griffin is a senior producer with MSNBC, and Kyle reported that the Twitter CFO Ned Segal told CNBC today, I was actually listening to this interview, that the ban for former President Trump is permanent, even if he runs for office again. When you're removed from the platform, you're removed from the platform. That is an official statement from Twitter. So, folks, doesn't look like things are going very well right now for Team Trump. Speaking of not going very well, here's a tweet on your screen from Burgess Everett, the co-congressional bureau chief of Politico. Now, this is a recap of day one of former President Trump's impeachment trial, and the many Republicans castigated the Trump team, who clearly did not have a very good day. Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana said, terrible job. Senator Susan Collins from Maine said, I'm puzzled. Senator John Cornyn from Texas said, not one of the finest I've seen. Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska said, I'm really stunned. And Senator Ted Cruz said, I don't think the lawyers did the most effective job. And folks, this was all highlighted in a Politico article that you'll see on your screen right now. The headline reads, GOP castigates terrible job by Trump legal team. And Trump's attorney still told reporters that he didn't expect any changes to the legal team or any shakeups. It's very clear that there could be shakeups, but folks, we never know, because things happen in a pretty unpredictable fashion when it comes to anything involving former President Trump. And folks, here's a tweet on your screen from Rebecca Ballas, who's an investigative reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Rebecca points out that the Trump lawyer David Schoen, when he was asked to respond to comments from Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, he said, I'm sorry he felt that way, have to do better next time. I'll actually show you Senator Bill Cassidy's comments. Pretty interesting comments, folks. And he was asked whether he would make any adjustments, to which the lawyer replied, "Oh no, I don't think any adjustments or anything. I mean, I always hope to improve." Folks, look, anybody can hope to improve, but when you're a lawyer for a former president of the United States in the fourth impeachment trial in the history of the United States of America, in the Senate, the second impeachment trial for the same president, you got to have your act together. You got to bring your A game, and it's not just, you can't improve on the fly, because this isn't a practice session. This is in front of the United States Senate, in front of the whole country, after an attempt at an insurrection. So I would hope that they do a little bit more than just try to do better next time. Here's a tweet on your screen from Seung Min Kim from the Washington Post. She quotes one of the fiercest defenders of the president, Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. Lindsey Graham says, "I thought I knew where it was going, and I really didn't know where it was going." So, interesting comments from Lindsey Graham. By the way, an interesting piece of trivia for our viewers and subscribers. After Lindsey Graham spoke with Georgia state officials, the Georgia state officials said that he mischaracterized the call and that the call was not appropriate. And therefore, the Georgia state officials decided to record their call with former President Trump and then release it if President Trump contradicted the contents of the call. So, in a sense, Lindsey Graham's call, because Lindsey Graham did call Georgia state election officials, he actually called other states as well, but Lindsey Graham did call Georgia state election officials to ask around about the voting process, which I thought was very unusual. You have a senator from South Carolina calling officials in Georgia, questioning the integrity of the elections, just like I mentioned earlier, Josh Hawley. There he is. What's up, Josh? He's he's probably getting some work done, propping his feet up on in the Senate chamber, going through some paperwork. He is a senator from Missouri who objected to the Electoral College certification results in a completely different state. I believe he objected to Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. At this point, there's so much drama going on, it's hard to keep track with what different senators are doing. So that's what's going on. And folks, speaking of what's going on, let's show you a tweet on your screen, and I'll also share a video from Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana. Alan He, who's a CBS News reporter for Capitol Hill, quoted Senator Bill Cassidy, who said President Trump's team was disorganized. If I'm an impartial juror and one side is doing a great job and the other side is doing a terrible job on the issue at hand, as an impartial juror, I'm going to vote for the side that did the good job. And then when he was asked, why are you saying they didn't do a good job, his response was very telling. I want you to watch this for yourself, and you can actually see the frustration on the face of the Republican senator from Louisiana, Bill Cassidy, about day one of the Trump impeachment trial. Let's roll the tape and see what Senator Cassidy had to say.
I said I'd be an impartial juror. Anyone listening to those arguments, the House managers were focused, they were organized, they relied upon both precedent, the Constitution, and legal scholars. They made a compelling argument. President Trump's team were disorganized. They did everything they could but to talk about the question at hand. And when they talked about it, they kind of glided over it, almost as if they were embarrassed of their arguments. Now, if I'm an impartial juror, and one side's doing a great job, and the other side's doing a terrible job on the issue at hand, as an impartial juror, I'm going to vote for the side that did the good job.
What does it mean for conviction?
I don't know. We haven't heard that yet. I'm an impartial juror.
Why do you think the Trump defense team did a terrible job?
Did you listen to it?
I did.
Okay, then it speaks for itself.
I found Castro hard to follow for sure. Other Republicans have praised Chauvin. Is that your feeling of things, or did you think that
Again,
his
if you listen to it, it speaks for itself. It was disorganized, random, had nothing. They talked about many things, but they didn't talk about the issue at hand. And so if I'm an impartial juror and I'm trying to make a decision based upon the facts as presented on this issue, then the House managers did a much better job.
That's it, everyone. That's your 10-minute drama-free or dramatic recap, whichever way you want to look at it, of what's happened in the Trump impeachment trial so far. Pretty incredible what's going on, everyone. There have also been reports that former President Trump was very angry. He was almost screaming when he was watching his lawyers in action. Let's see what happens today. Today is also a pretty dramatic day with some very, very intense proceedings on the floor of the Senate. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot to me personally. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.